All right, I know this lesson's a little longer. Part 2, let's learn about kinetic energy. For kinetic energy, the speed or velocity at which an object is moving is the most important factor because its energy depends on motion. Remember, kinetic is the energy of motion. The mass of the object is also important because the heavier an object is, the more energy it carries with it. Okay, so think about bowling, right? You roll a ball down an alley. If you have a let's say you replace your bowling ball with like one of those bouncy balls, right? Like that you use for like Foursquare. Maybe it's the same size, but it's a lot lighter because it's full of air. Which one of those is going to strike the pins harder? Well, the bowling ball is going to strike the pins harder because it has more mass. That's why we use such a heavy object for bowling. Therefore, the formula we can use is kinetic energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. So remember I said velocity is so important? It's so important that we're going to multiply it twice. V times V is velocity squared. So again, M stands for mass, V stands for velocity. And just a reminder, velocity is squared, which means it is multiplied by itself. One common mistake is that people use the number for velocity and multiply it by 2. Well, that's not the correct way to do velocity squared. It's velocity times velocity. Now, let's put it into action. A baseball is flying through the air with a velocity of 12 meters per second. It has a mass of 0.145 kilograms. How much kinetic energy does it have? Circle the mass in blue and the velocity in red. Pause the video and determine which one is mass and which one is velocity. So here's your answer. Velocity is 12 meters per second and mass is 0.145 kilograms. Let's do the problem. A baseball is flying through the air, so we have velocity is 12 and mass is 0.145. So kinetic energy equals, lowercase is definitely easier for some reason. All right, now here's my trick. Instead of doing 1/2, I like to put it into decimal form. So the decimal form of 1/2 is 0.5, and that's a lot easier to put into a calculator, so I like to just change it over to that. So let's do 0.5, okay, times mass. Mass is right here, 0.145. Okay, now velocity. So another trick is I like to change this to V times V because it keeps you from making silly mistakes and doing V times 2 in the calculator. So since V is 12, let's do 12 times 12. Now you have one mathematical sentence where everything is being multiplied, so you can actually plug this whole thing into your calculator and hit enter. So that's what I'll do. So we're going to do 0.5 times 0.145 times 12 times 12. Hit equals, and there is my answer, 10.44. Now, numbers are worthless in science if they don't include a unit, so we're talking about energy. The unit is capital J, joules. That's your answer. All right, let's try one comparison question. Let me delete all of that. We're going bowling. You're trying to determine which ball to use. One is 3.6 kilograms, another is 4.5 kilograms. You'll be rolling them both with your top velocity of 3 meters per second. So the velocity, the speed is the same. Which one will have more kinetic energy? Explain how you came up with your answer. Pause the video and think about it. So one possible correct answer is the ball that has more mass, 4.5 kilograms, has more kinetic energy because objects with more mass carry more kinetic energy. Just kind of like I talked to you at the beginning with the bowling ball and the bouncy ball. Since they will be moving at the same speed, speed doesn't matter. So one common misconception is saying that a lighter ball will be easier to throw, and so therefore it has more kinetic energy. Well, even though you might have a point there, you gotta really think about what the problem is telling you. This problem is telling us that you're going to be rolling the ball with the same speed. And so it doesn't matter the speed at which you throw it because in this problem they're the same. What does matter is that one object is heavier. So that object is going to have more energy. So this is the end of the notes. The next part of your module is your assignment. The next part is called Calculating KE and PE Practice. And just like the Energy Skate Park, I have a worksheet here in Canvas. You can open it in a new tab and move it to your Unit 4 folder so that it's easy to find. I have conveniently located some videos right here. If you want me to go through an example for potential energy, click the first one, kinetic energy, the second one. Read the directions carefully and watch the videos if the directions don't make sense to you because I show you what your worksheet should look like. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.